Welcome back to AMTV News. I'm your anchor, Topher Morrison. It is Wednesday, November 28th, 2012. First up, it's the Greek debt punt. That's right, the IMF moved for restructuring on Sunday in a classic effort. What they've done is actually extend the loan, lower the interest rate, but they've piled on even more debt. It just warms your heart. It really does. The Greek debt is going to reach 200% in 2 years, so they've restructured. It makes for great headlines. Greece sees daylight. The euro strengthens. But this addresses none of the deep systemic issues facing Athens. And of course, a bunch of fiscal technicians and politicians meeting together, like Mark Twain alluded to some time ago, doesn't bode well for economic growth. Again, 200% of GDP will be reached in 2 years had this not happened. However, now they're going to reach 120% by the year 2020. In other words, we hope in nearly a decade to have debt up to our ears. Bush the Third? National Review caught up with Jeb Bush. That's right, the brother of George W. and the son of George Bush Sr., former governor of Florida, and father to a Latino who just filed for an exploratory committee in Texas. He's also the guy who spoke most eloquently, in Spanish no doubt, to a state full of Latinos regarding an impending hurricane disaster. All minority appeal aside, if the GOP didn't get it with Romney, they're batshit crazy if they go for Jeb Bush in 2015 to the run-up for the elections in 2016. This country is still suffering from a Bush fatigue. Conservatives often make fun of the left concerning blame it on Bush, blame it on Bush. Well, guess what's going to happen in 2015 when you all start voting for him again? They don't care if this guy's from Florida. They don't care if he's not George W. And they especially don't care if he's not his father. Ronald Reagan, it's like the GOP loves to know who the next person is. It's been virtually telegraphed. Bush Sr. was vice president. George W. Bush was his son. Mitt Romney paid his dues. So did John McCain. Now Bush the Third. Supreme Court ends the war on cameras. It may have buttressed the federal government's prerogative to nearly tax everything in economic life, but the Supreme Court, of course, has its moments, and this is one of them. The Supreme Court refused to review a lower Illinois court decision which held the state's eavesdropping law to be in violation of a person's free speech when used against anyone who records police officers in public. The point is, cops don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy, especially when we're paying them. So here we go. Camera versus camera, let's get it on. China implements tax cuts. That's right, we're headed towards a fiscal cliff, and China is implementing tax cuts throughout the nation. That's right, we're heading towards a fiscal cliff, slogging along at 1% growth. What's going on? Marked success is occurring in Shanghai and a few other areas because of their new policy implementation. Surprise, surprise, according to the state-run Xinhua News, quote, the reform has effectively promoted the growth of tertiary industry, especially the service sector, and encouraged the development of small and micro-sized enterprises. While the value-added tax is concerning, it for now is being implemented on the local level as pilot programs have benefited over 900,000 individual businesses throughout China. Ginsburg Supremes. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the second woman ever nominated to the Supreme Court by Bill Clinton in 1993, looks forward to the day when the Supreme Court is stocked full of ladies. I'm almost with her on that. However, what is the deal? Why does it all have to be women? Okay, you know what happens. The seas will lower, lions will lay with lambs, and we'll finally live in a post-gender America. You know what? Maybe we'll even have a black president. That'll shake things up a bit. Let's begin with GMO and GE barcodes. If a product has a 5-digit code starting with 9, that denotes organically grown food. If the product has a 5-digit code starting with 8, that denotes GMO or GE food. Products showing 4-digit barcodes are conventionally grown and often with pesticides. This isn't an exhaustive list. It doesn't cover foreign imported food, but the link in our description box below will provide you with at least more information than they're willing to provide you on the label in lieu of label reform. 310 mile per hour floating trains from Japan. It won't hit the ground running until 2025, so gear down there, big shifter. And this is not the first time we've seen floating trains per se. The maglev train, like most semiconductor super trains, rests on magnets without wheels, making a smooth but lightning fast ride. It's over twice as fast as the current Japanese bullet trains, and it will surely have central planners in the US pushing each other over to implement one here at home. LA to NY? LA to SF? Well, you know it's already been on the books for a while, but I don't think California can afford it. I'll wait for the vacuum tube train. Capturing every corner of the alternative media, watch AMTV News Monday through Friday. For more videos like these, visit amtvmedia.com, home of the AMTV network, the voice of independence.